I've said this before, but then it hit me a little differently in this manner as to how it can apply to an even deeper level. But as I've said, the more creative you can get with your applications of concepts and principles, the more it's going to affect you. I saw this firsthand decades ago when we would evaluate people in their strength. You'd test them in their strength. You know, a variety of movements, a variety of strength tests that you would have, you know, patients or clients or whomever walk in. The ones that annihilated the test, destroyed them, blew them out of the water to the standards that have just been kept breaking and breaking and breaking and expanding and expanding and elevating. They weren't men. They weren't, you know, young women. They weren't old. They weren't athletes, competitive athletes. They weren't martial artists. It varied. It was everybody. But the one thing they had in common, every single time I'd ask those people, what do you do for training on your own? What do you do for strength? What do you do for muscle? What do you do for your currency to change, which is muscle? And they're like, nothing, I train myself. You don't go to a facility at all? No, I just kind of fit it in wherever it is throughout my day. What do you use for equipment? Anything I have on hand around my house or around the outside or a hotel room or in an airplane. How hard do you go? Totally depends on that day. How long do you go? How much do you do? So I'll just go till I'm tired and then I kind of stop. What movements would you do? Whatever seems to be the ones that I would do in life, like lunging or picking things up or hanging and climbing and so then you start to see, Jesus, the people that would just blow this, they had this foundation of massive coherent strength, not muscle size, because that has nothing to do with it. Coherent strength, which is connection. You are as strong as the connection you have to your muscle, not the size of it. The ones that would completely fail the tests in a manner of, wow, like almost not even being able to perform them, had the most trainers, they had the most memberships, they had the most equipment at home, they had all the gear, they had all the tech, they had all the stuff. They were usually compounding injuries as well, and it's not picking them apart, but we had to start with that fact. You have to wash out of all that. All that is dismantling you. All that is belittling you. All that is enabling you to stay at this level that you're not happy with. That's why you walk through my doors. And so again, the element of being creative brings a level of you care, a level of feeling, a level of seeing through hurdles. You're like water creeping through like rocks to get to the outlet. And that's going to change you neurologically. That's going to change you on the deepest levels, emotionally, mentally, intellectually. That's why the more deliberate and intentional you can be, the more creative you can be. It means you thought about it. It means you felt about it. It means you really cared. Now, you can apply that to nourishment, not just food and drink. You can apply that to light, not just sunlight. You can apply that to rest, not just sleep and naps. And the more creative you can be, the more of an effect your choices are going to have on you. Now, this hit me the other day. Now think about this. As well and good as that sounds in the things that you're going to apply to support your creative process and your expansion, what about if you're really creative with how you carry out having an affair? What if you're really creative in how you hide drugs or how you hide things that you don't want people to see? What if you're really creative in, you know, dabbing up your videos or marking them up so that nobody can see your scabs and blemishes? What if you're really creative in manipulation? What if you're really creative in those things? How much more are they going to change you because you care more about what you're doing there? That'll get you thinking. So it's not about doing healthy things or right things or good things or bad things. We're washing that out. That doesn't make any sense. It's your reasoning behind it and your level of creativity, whether it's applying to support the creative and expansive process that is you, the artist, or it's the part that you're still holding on to defend and protect that wounded, that little, that person that's terrified, that person that's trying to be right and good and spiritual all the time. And so the more creative you can be on any sliding of the spectrum, the more it's going to change you, the more it's going to have an effect and ripple out into your life. You can use that as a power either way. You can use that as a cost or as a benefit. It's your call, but that's something to think about there. The more creative and intentional means the more you care, whether it's applications of light and training and deliberate movement, or whether it's applications of drugs and alcohol, or whether it's applications of affairs and prostitutes, or whether it's applications of hiding things, cheating and lying and stealing and doing everything else that your body is probably telling you don't really enjoy doing. This really isn't benefiting you and anybody you're involved with. You probably want to change. So, but you're going to have to understand that. Something to think about. And again, all these things are powers. All these things are things to use for your advantage. They may be unsettling at first, but that's the point. If you're feeling them and they're triggering you, there's something there for you to see. Boom.